Welcome back, wonderful people, to the North American Summer Split and our final game of the week, Team Dignitas versus Cloud9. Now, both teams have picked up wins in this matchup, but strange that it is, Cloud9 feel like the underdogs this time around.
Yeah, Cloud9 still have the potential to be #1, though. If they win this game, they will only be 1 game behind first place. When a team does fall from grace, though, like this, people generally like to point to one person as the cause and use them as an easy scapegoat. But really, everyone on this team have been having their own individual issues at the moment. But individual problems aside, their team planning and team coordination seems to be a little bit lackluster as of late, which is surprising because that has always been one of their greatest strengths. I think the fact that every other team in North America has brought in a coach or analyst this split to help them close the gap in strategy has really been the biggest change for the entire league.
We'll see if they can pick themselves back up then. By the end of it, of course, Dignitas have benefited a lot from Skara taking over as the team's coach. But Dig's hopes for a 4-0 week were dashed with a really surprising loss to that Complexity comeback.
That was definitely surprising. They had a strong early game start against Complexity, and then with Zion leading the way up top, it looked like they had complete control of the game, but a couple of costly positional mistakes let Complexity catch up and buy time for their late game composition to scale up. It's been a long Super Week, and not only do they have to play 2 games today, but their first game was a very long 52-minute upset. Anytime you do have a game slip through your fingers like that, then it can possibly put your players on tilt. However, one of Dignitas' greatest strengths have always been that they don't dwell on mistakes, and they're usually very quick to recover. They're always a cheerful group.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Dig ever has 2 losses in a row so far this split. Maybe once, like end of a week, beginning of the next one. But by and large, they recover from losses quite well as a group. Of course, Dig have been very successful, hovering in and around first all split long. Cloud9 attribute some of their success not just to the players, but the entire Dignitas organization.
It's definitely been looking rocky. Hai is adjusting to playing mages. He played Ziggs last week, and though it was okay, I think he has a lot more to improve on.
Shifter is actually a really good player now that he's come on to Dignitas. He has a jungler that backs him up, and he's just been able to play the way he normally plays. They got Skara as a coach, they have like 3 analysts, they have a life coach, and when you have all this help making a good team, it just kind of happens on top of them being good players.
I think C9, they're just having like growing pains because they kind of went from like nothing to like something in the matter of a split. Changes don't really affect us because we've been through like everything, but C9, sometimes they're just going to fall out of the meta. It's just about how well you adapt to it.
That's true. That does seem to be one of the hardest things for C9 is they're no longer the best, and it feels like the morale has been really shot for these guys for a while. See if they can turn it around. Going to check out the starting lineups here. On the blue side is Team Dignitas. In the top lane is Zion Spartan. In the jungle is Crumbs. Mid laner Shifter. AD carry I'm a Cutie Pie. And supporting Kiwi Kid.
And on the red side, it's Cloud9. Up top is Balls. In the jungle, Meteos. Mid-high, AD carry Sneaky. And supporting Lemon Nation.
So as these teams get ready, it's kind of a battle for posturing right now. Dignitas, if they win, they have, like, yeah.
Sit up straight.
Okay, I'm trying, okay? Sorry, I don't want my head to like go off the screen, then it just looks weird. I'm like just a beard talking. But Dignitas, if they win here, they are sole position of first place. We've had that, I think, only once with LMQ after week 1, where they 4-0'd Super Week. But Dignitas could pull away from the pack and kind of guarantee that first round playoff bye, which would be nice for them.
Yeah, everybody was looking at the 4-0 Super Week, but yeah. Complexity, when Complexity does this to a team, but both of these teams have actually been on the receiving end of those Complexity blue shells.
Yeah.
But when Complexity does that to a team, Dignitas haven't had to come back from something like that in the same day yet.
Yeah.
That's what I'm really looking at, because usually they're like, okay, yeah, we had that loss. We know that was that single mistake that we made, haha, whatever. But really, same day. They've been here all day long. Let's see if they can actually pull it out.
Well, I saw smiles on Zion's face, so maybe he'll keep that one up.
Not so happy, though.
He's just focusing right now. Shifter also very intense. Cloud9, though, as far as them bouncing around, we said a second ago, if they win, they're 1 game behind first. Like, they've been right there on the cusp. Here's the weird thing. If they lose, they're 1 game ahead of Curse for 6th.
That's just how close North America is right now.
But, like, that's so strange, right? Like, they're guaranteed 5th no matter what, but we've definitely seen some of the bottom teams pull their way back up. And, of course, a lot of blue shells this time around. Picks and bans coming through. Interesting, the Evelyn ban actually comes in, but so far, nothing much else against Meteos.
I'm really interested to see what Hai is going to use now, because even though he's used so many different champions so far, you know, it sounds like his champion pool is really big when you list everything that he's done. However, it doesn't feel like he's comfortable on all these champions that he's trying. He's sort of reaching out and he's like, oh, well, that didn't work. Now I need to try something else. Oh, maybe Fizz. Oh, no, Fizz didn't work. Okay, everything that he reaches for seems to get nerfed or banned away or something because Nidalee, oh, that was working great for him. Banned out. Can't use her anymore. Got to rework. Soraka, that was working great for him. He was one of the only mid laners to really main that champion in North America. Boom, instant nerfs for her. And all these assassins that he used to play, no longer flavor of the month.
Right, we said he'd played something like 11 different champions this split, but how many different champions do they have wins on? How many does he have wins on that are still even eligible to be picked right now? And that's kind of the question. Ziggs removed away, but Lulu Kog'Maw is there. The one largely consistent member of C9 is Sneaky. They've given him Kog'Maw many times, telling him to carry the team. Maybe they can get this one this time around and salvage their week and go 2-2.
Locking in Cog early, plus already one of the utility shield solo laners here. Cloud9 could very easily go with that Orianna for high, which is a safe pick. Fairly easy to lane with versus Ziggs. Pretty even match right there. Just a lot of wave control is pretty much what most of the battles are about there. So they could easily just go with one of those simple shield comps, protect Kog'Maw, go with that late game.
Shifter's got clairvoyance right now. He's trying to see the enemy champions.
Kiwi Kid loves this champion, by the way. This is by far and away his favorite champion. And he will pick it over and over again. Cloud9 give up not only that, but also Kale to the second round pick here for Dignitas.
Well, that's Dig doing the research, though. We've known C9 have not done great on Kale so far. They banned it last week. They're not doing very well with it this week here. And yeah, fifth pick Kale, very surprising turn of events.
The thing is, seeing this now, both solo laners locked in for Dignitas, they can switch Lulu. Lulu doesn't have to go top. They can give that to high and give Balls a champion where he can get kills on Kale. They can go back to their Cloud9 identity that works so well for them. Balls on a champion who's melee, who can get a kill on Kale, send Meteos up there, get some early pressure, and run the game out of that top lane. That's where they had the most success, when they were making most of their plays from the top side of the map.
But that's the question then, is what is Ball's champion pool like? First of all, Meteos' champion pool pulls in the Nunu for the jungle there, support Nami.
And it is not going to be a support Nunu. They have locked in basically 3 support champions so far. 3 supports and Cog. This is a very dangerous game to play, having an only really 2 solid threat team. Whenever you do that, you have to put a lot of faith in your people who are playing the champions with damage. It'll be Kog'Maw, and then they need another high damage source here.
Mid Morgana.
For either Balls or High. I mean, High has been a guy who's gone to things like Kha'Zix. Those have really fallen off, though. So we'll see what he picks up here. He definitely likes to play Assassins. However, you can easily counter those with Exhaust right now being so strong. This Dig team could very well pick up multiple Exhaust summoner spells.
Nope.
And again, they go with the shield. My goodness, this is a... They're like, okay, Sneaky, you're pretty much the most consistent player on our team. You're doing the best. We're going to put almost every single one of our hopes in your hands here.
But here's the thing, all those shields will make him more visible. How could he be sneaky with all these circles surrounding him? Dignitas is going to have a giant target on that Kog'Maw's head. And the thing is, they've picked up Vi. This is one thing I like. You know, okay, yeah, we've gotten a bunch of jungle bans, so Vi is kind of next up in the list. But even if they weren't banned away, I would want Dig to pick Vi here and say, go find the Kog'Maw, press R on that guy and follow up.
At what point do you not even want to go find that Kog'Maw? Because it's going to have an absolute 0 zoning out most of your team. So if Vi goes in there, he's going to be separated. I guess I can Kale ult him when he goes in. But man, he is going to have a ridiculous amount of shields and heals, and then Shockwave and absolute 0 for zone control. We'll see if Sneaky can actually do it, because he will have to spend every open second auto-attacking, because he needs every single ounce of damage that he can put out.
I wonder if we're going to have some attention in the bot lane this game for like the early ganks. I wonder if it's going to be important in this game. The teams, of course, have locked in the champions. Let's total up the votes and see which team you guys think is going to win. According to LOLesports.com, you're saying Dignitas with 55%.
Keep those votes coming, though. Send them over to Twitter at LOLesports and use the hashtag either DIGWin if you want Dignitas to win, or Cloud9 to win. Then you can use C9Win. We will be checking in, as usual, and we will update that graph that you like to influence.
It's all from you guys. Democracy at its finest here in the weekend of 4th of July here in the U.S. Actually, pretty much everywhere, to be fair. It's 4th of July in every country in the world. But
No, could be 5th of July already.
well, I just mean in general. It is the weekend
For many
of
people.
July 4th.
Okay.
Right?
Could be Monday.
I don't think that's actually true. That's actually not the case for people. I mean, yeah, okay, yeah, right now could be. Anyway, whatever, moving on to the point of the game. Interesting history lesson. Dignitas is one of the first teams I've seen run 17 supports plus Kog'Maw. Back in the day, IPL 3. 17. They had that many. It was Soraka Lulu was at the time. Top Lulu's come, of course, back into the meta here. But they have all of one returning member from that lineup, though. So only QT Pie remembers what it was like to be Kog'Maw with a bunch of supports. He'll be shot calling this game.
However, pretty much the biggest support in the game right now, Braum, is on QT Pie's team. So let's see. He counts for about 1.5 at least with the big shield. However, the other added bonus here, what is Braum going to block with his big shield? He's not going to block out a single big spell. He can block a whole Nami tidal wave, but there's plenty of other disengage for Cloud9. They have so much utility here. You know, we're talking about all these champions being support champions, but they do have pretty decent magic damage here for at least the early part of the game, in the mid game. So there is going to be a lot of extra magic damage flying around with all these quote-unquote support champions. It's not like Sneaky's the only man going to be doing damage here.
Yeah, and I mean, you talked about Dignitas' loss earlier to Complexity. Prolly's Orianna basically won them that game, and here it is one more time saying, hey, Dignitas, remember this champion that killed you guys?
Also, one of the best things against champions like Kayle is crowd control. If you can lock her up, then you can take her down. Blue side invade, though. Start off here for Dignitas.
The early recall for Zion Spartan. We'll see if he can get control over the blue buff afterwards, or is Media's going to be stuck on a 1-buff start.
Well, it's hard to chase Nunu off a buff here.
True.
Plus, he would miss out on a lot of minions in their 1v1. And still, even though Balls has had a few bad games, you do not want to give him an early lead, like missing out on the first wave of minions.
Looks like no one's going to contest Medios there. He's going to be just fine on Nunu. Smite comes up in 6 seconds, and he actually had enough ward coverage already from the level 1. You can see the trinket's still down in the minimap. He is safe for this. Doesn't even need to smite. Saves his smite for the blue buff. We'll grab like a wolf and a counter jungle, I think. And back on out.
Yeah, Nunu, very strong at counter jungling. One of the earliest counter junglers in the game because of that consume spell. Always just liking to take the large champion, or large monster.
Says hi to Shifter. And how'd he go? So Medios did leave one of the little golem pieces up. So Dignitas can maybe try to time the buff off of the duration of the buff on Medios, but with that camp actually not fully cleared right now, it's not going to respawn anytime soon. Dig eventually was going to have to learn that timer.
And that is actually a really big thing against Zig Kayle composition, because Dignitas would love to give that to either one of their solo laners. Even if Crumbs got it, it would not be bad for them. Vi really likes blue buff, so blue buff control is a really big part of controlling the game here for Cloud9. The mid game is going to be crucial for them because they really want to get this gang of supports rolling.
Well, so far so good. Mid lane holding pretty close to equal 18-17 top lane. Uh-oh, Crumb's going to get revealed by a ward.
Not this time, Balls says. He has warded up. Last time around, he was playing Kayle, shoved up early, and lost out due to the delayed jungler gank. This time, though, ward going to keep him safe. The best thing to do as a laner, even if you do have vision of the jungler, keep him interested. Waste his time here.
Well, there's
he's
the
using
Q charge.
A lot of Crumb's time, and you can see he's just on the edge of where Crumbs would feel comfortable going for that gank. So he uses up a decent amount of Crumb's time, which allows Midos to know Crumbs will not be mid.
Nope.
So he says hi one more time to Shifter.
He's been said hi twice to. Got the Orianna saying it all the time. And then Meteos sometimes
Baited
helps
you
as well.
there, Freak. You just got baited.
Yep.
I was waiting to see if you would go for that one.
Of course! It's right. Hey, you used Prawley last game, so I mean...
That's why I had to bait you.
Yeah, I mean,
back.
Thing is, yeah, name puns are like low-tier puns. Because they're so easy. You've got to go with the on-the-spot ones. Like Scrying Orb. Ball, Zion, Spartan, a bit of a duel. Equal siesta between these guys. Right now it's the push for the Dignitas top laner, but we haven't really seen Crumbs succeed much on Vi. We know Nunu as a...
He had a pretty good game on Vi.
Or, sorry, I mean this game, sorry.
Ah.
Succeed this game on Vi. I mean, it's 5 minutes in, you don't expect 7 kills, but hey.
Come on, Crumbs.
Maybe if you're LNQ. Yeah. How do you not have a pentakill already? Fantasy points are wondering.
Early Zerker Greave upgrade for Zion Spartan. Now, the biggest battle here between Lulu and Kale, because they're very, very similar champions at almost all stages in the game, except for very late. Early on, it's really a battle of shoving your minion waves. It's the constant battle between Glitter Lance spam and the auto attacks from Kale. How many Righteous Fury auto attacks can he get off? Now he's got Zerker Greaves, very early upgrades, so he will get a little bonus in that.
Cooldown reduction. Never see that.
Also important for him. Yeah, wants to be able to keep control of balls. He also did not use his teleport, or he used it super early to get to that lane. That's why it's up now. It just came back up. So slight window here for Dignitas. Teleport advantage from the top lane.
See if they can do much with this one then, because they've got 2 minutes or more actually. Kiwi Kid and Lemonation, they got to be careful. No stun just yet, but the knock up there on a Cutie Pie. There's the shield. It's here for him. Zap hits. There's the passive timing out though. Lemon gets away for this one. About 45 minions on both these AD carries. That lane holds equal.
Meteos with the early Sightstone on Nunu. Classic. Getting that even before you upgrade Hunter's Machete. Able to get some vision down. He wants to set up strong vision control around the jungle entrances before Vi hits 6. Yeah, Nunu's main goal right now is making sure that his lanes do not get killed by the first Vi ultimate gank. So that's what the sweep on this red side jungle was for Meteos. He wards up both of those entrances to the river.
Well, one thing though is it actually, the early jungle game actually slows down Crumbs' path to 6. Blue buff isn't going to be up for a while, so we can't share that XP, get half to a third of a level off that.
And that is not the only thing that Meteos counter jungled. Also remember the wolf. Every little bit does help. So they're trying to delay that as much as possible. That being said, the top side was not warded very deeply here for Cloud9, and Balls is actually one of the most vulnerable to that dive because Zion Spartan can just intervention the first few tower hits on Crumbs if they decide to go for that dive. And it would be up to Balls to make some tricky moves involving his ultimate and some kiting. That being said, lane ganks always work.
And that did not, I believe, get seen by the Tri-Brush ward that was down a little while ago. So despite Meteos looking for vision, he can't necessarily find this one.
This would probably be a summoner spell only because Kiwi Kid's not 6 yet. They might wait for Kiwi Kid to ding 6. That would greatly increase their chances of actually getting the kill.
That would take so long with 3 champions though. That's like 2 waves at least.
They're not going to pull the trigger here.
Stand behind me plus auto attacks could be enough because you could jump in on top of the Vi, but not going to be the case. Looks like no gank will happen. And C9 didn't look for anything either. A bit harder to force ganks with Nunu.
He does get information on Crumbs here. Even though they clear out the ward, knowing that he's bottom is great. You see Meteos just went into the blue side jungle to try and ward up there for Balls. Deep vision for Cloud9 has always been key. Still, the goal is the same. Delay the first successful gank from Crumbs.
Oh, so far, so good.
Value bubble right there. Able to delay the back. It's going to help out a lot because they can freeze this lane in their own territory. Now that they delayed the back though, they know that Cutie would go, Cutie would go for that recall. He has to delay it once again because of this dragon pressure. 4 versus 4, teleports both up for top laners. Ooh. Well, blue buff advantage for Cloud9 though. Hai is actually wearing it.
And Zion had to get back to base and heal back up. The chance, not going to be stolen away, but Meteos now getting jumped on. The damage output comes from Ziggs as well. Meteos stays alive. The summer heal, and first blood goes to High. The chase still on. Meteos gets red buff to I'm a Cutie Pie, and now Lemonation is stuck in the wrong side. Double kill so far. Shifter flashes the wall. He stays safe. And now High is not done. The W is not going to land just yet. He's running low on mana. Shifter puts the minefield down. The command attack hits, and High makes it 2 for 2. Now on to Zion Spartan. Can High pick anyone off? The knockup there comes in, and they're going to still keep fighting. Low health is Oriana, and Zion Spartan finds the kill. They go in, Sneaky gets stunned, and another one. 4 kills to Dignitas.
They did get the dragon there for Cloud9, though. Both teams are going to have the timer as well. So gold leads slightly in favor for Cloud9 because of the increased gold of dragon. But that last chain of kills and double buff ending up on Zion is not the cleanest way for them to end out this fight. It looked like it was a great move by High, chasing in there to secure the kill on Shifter.
Yeah.
But actually baits in Sneaky and Lemon to die as well. Let's see. So Meteos, he's able to kite for a long time, but in the end, Cutie Pie getting the red buff is worse for them because he gets excited, gets the reset, 2 kills here onto Lemon, and they're able to zone them out. At this point, if Cloud9 backed off, that would be pretty good. But he spends the flash to secure this kill. Balls also flashes over the wall, so 2 flashes for this, which ends up costing him as well. Braum cutting off High, and Zion's going full mana, able to finish him off. So initially it looked like a good look there for Cloud9, flashing over this wall to chase off the running Dignitas. But really if they had cut their losses there with just a 2-for-1 trade in Dragon, would have been much better.
Well, as Riv calls it the I think I can mentality, the rest of C9 kept showing up like, well, we'll help High, we'll show up as well, we'll save you. Turns out nothing to be had right there, just more kills, keeping them company in the fountain as they respawn. Sneaky still holding up 86 to 85 in minions. Problem is 2 kills for Cutie Pie makes him a gigantic threat. Base damage is now extremely high on his spells and his basic attacks. It's going to set C9's plans back even farther. There's the zap, hits Lemonation. There's the ulti as well. Flash not going to be enough. It still hits him. The slows come in. There's the Vi ulti as well. Everybody pressing spells. And look at that one. Nicely done. Cutie Pie still gets the kill anyway, despite of the CC. 5-2 Dignitas.
Good focus there from Dig. Meteos had just warded the Tribush. But again, Crumbs straight for a lane gank. It's a very, very popular route. Oh, the zap just tagged Sneaky.
The Q hits. They could dive, but Meteos is there. Cubic takes a decent bit of damage. He's going to walk out of that one safely enough.
So I really like what Crumbs is doing, going for all these consecutive lane ganks because he's facing a Nunu who keeps on warding all of the river entrances.
Oh, Zion ulted late here. He's 1 hit from dead, and there's the shockwave. Cloud9 find the kill off of High, roaming out of his lane.
Again, though, this is what High does a lot. Roams away. However, Shifter punishes very hard for this roam. Yes, they picked up the kill top. He's able to shove into the turret, and he's going to answer a lot of that top turret damage with mid turret damage.
And it's going to be ultimately an equal sort of turret situation. I think they both just get 2 mini waves shoved into them. This time, though, High is going to get back to get these minions here. And the kill, just the lead there. Cloud9 sitting up 600 gold. The Dragon, you can't discount that. Dragon a big part of this.
Whoa.
Blue buff steal attempt. Not in time. High grabs it for himself. He's going to stay all right now.
Close one there, too, because Meteos had used his smite early to just get the damage and let the cooldown come back quicker. Trying to give it over to High. Very close. The High comes away with it. I think he's doing a great job of harassing Cutie Pie under turret while Cutie is trying to grab CS. And you can see they're slowly winning in CS here down in the bottom lane. Kog'Maw with the early Sheen going for that Trinity Force can do a lot of burst damage at a very long range.
His short-term trading is so good with that too. You only need 3 attack phases to do the most out of it, like the Nami E, which a lot of Namis will actually max the damage on attack spell. And they have the chance to put some punishment down. If Cutie Pie doesn't get any crits, he will deal inferior damage in a fight.
Still focus from bottom lane though, of course, from Dignitas. Trying to attack the source of this Cloud9 composition. Crumbs spending a very long time down on this bottom side.
Look at that, bottom turret just going to go down to the repeated attacks of Cutie Pie. Wants to deny as many minions as possible.
Lemon's picking him up as best as he can though.
All right, that's going to go down bubble. Just for fun right there. Can't quite hit much there.
Now,
And Dignitas hold a small lead.
you do have to be careful when you're trying to deny an extra last minion at the turret, because you also want to get your last hit on the turret. There's gold there too.
The hit doesn't matter, just you got to be nearby.
If you get too far out of range,
Yeah.
we've seen a lot of people forget about it.
That's true. I see the guys who recall and they like go about a second early. They miss out on 150 gold. It's pretty worth having. Dignitas, though, trying their best to win this game. If they win, first place for sure for these guys, at least for a week. Zion and Balls still trading blows rather ferociously, but Balls holds a 30 minion lead in the lane. He's been struggling for a while, but this round, despite facing a Kale, such a high priority champion, doing nicely.
Classic support wars over the wall.
That kind of hurt.
Trinity Force completed here for COG, so Sneaky actually stronger than Cutie Pie at the moment. Trinity Force versus Infinity Edge. But it's all about the blood boil here as well. So many bonuses that they can pile onto Sneaky. All right, this is going to be an all-in.
Another battle between the two. Balls goes to the ulti, the knockup. Now Zion Spartan towards a flash, but of course he's still got the reveal. Dodges the Q. No mana on Balls. Can Zion win this fight? There's one more spell to determine it. Balls flashes, shields himself, picks up the kill. Nicely done, Balls.
Balls still has it. Yeah,
Yep.
he had a couple of rough games. But the 1v1 versus Zion, very impressive. You already mentioned the CS lead. That gives him confidence to go for this dragon. This Balls can heal up and his teleport is ready. Really big win for Cloud9 right there. Coming from the top laner, able to secure the objective end. If you steal it away from Nunu, then
Yeah.
you do get an achievement award.
10 extra IP. Steal a dragon from Nunu.
All right, so let's watch the mechanics here. Shield working around the cooldown, gets them into polymorph form. That glitter lance hit. You always want to throw your glitter lance at a slight angle, just because you can cover more ground that way. Good juke from Zion. The hard part about juking glitter lance. Uh-oh, Lemon's dead.
Yeah, he's gonna go down, and now High gonna take damage as well. Absolute Zero to try to zone, but now he wants to get away. Shockwave goes through. Super Mega Death Rocket not gonna hit, just the one for 0. But Dig now in the mid lane.
That tower should definitely be going down here. High doesn't have much mana left to defend it. Dig do get a victory out of that mid lane kill.
And it puts the gold back to equal, though. Cloud9 have controlled dragons, Dignitas have controlled turrets. The kill's pretty close, all said and done.
Thing is, dragons are a renewable resource. Turrets are not. So if Cloud9 do get a kill, then they can always try and push an outer turret. And those are pretty far up, easier to take. But if Dig get a kill, they can't always go for a dragon.
Unless they can keep the lanes pushed. If they can go for tier 2s after kills, that'd be great for them. Of course, as time goes on, respawns are longer as well. Gives you maybe a little bit more time to push up and get those turrets, but it really just depends on what state the map is in.
Zion wants vengeance on Balls, and he calls Kiwi Kid up here to help him out. Kiwi Kid stays in the bush, too. See how safe Balls plays this. No flash available for him, but he does have his ult.
Trinket.
Oh, no!
He's trying to bait it. Oh, no, just walks right in. This is not good for Balls. The stun comes out. The ulti's available, but he's got no flash. Can they get the damage? Lands the Q. Can they keep going? There we go. Zion Spartan picks it up. Kiwi Kid gives him some armor. Nicely done, Dignitas.
Team game, Freak. Team game.
Yep.
You 1v1 me, I'm going to call over my support. Oh!
Wow. Scumbag Zion.
Yeah,
Didn't even let Kiwi Kid get it.
that's a Targon charge he really wanted to use. They do get a turret, though, so good move from Dig. It is a team game. Good strategy. Call up Kiwi Kid, lock him down. They get one more turret. You talked about the turret lead. That's all perimeter turrets down for Cloud9. See if Meteos can answer bottom.
That's one of the strengths I've always seen of Kiwi Kid, is he is really good at roaming out of his lane. Back when he was playing Annie, it's a bit easier to force those, but even on Braum, sneaking into the brush, finding the random roam plays, he's been a part of every single kill for his team. Kiwi Kid's playing phenomenal on Braum this game. And honestly, almost every game, but
You saw the grin on his face when they locked it in.
yeah.
Definitely his favorite support to go with. And he was originally a top laner, so very at home going for kills up there.
I think when they lane swapped, he just felt so safe. It's like, I'm used to this. These brush, I know them.
I'm back home. All right, top lane tower going down. Gives Dignitas control of that area. And they are able to capitalize with the red buff steal as well.
Wow, they're just going hard for Crumbs, so they think they can force it, and they can. Look at that one. The tenacity of Cloud9 going in. There's a kill. Now mid lane is their control.
Yeah, whenever that happens, you get to point out the Trinity Force Vi builds. It's been popular among Crumbs and Dexter both in the North American LCS. But man, do you see the downside there? Get caught up by crowd control, and you will not survive. This mid game is actually one of the strongest points for heavy support compositions because they have just maxed one of their abilities, and they can pile everything onto Sneaky.
But the funny thing is, even though it's Sneaky the Kog'Maw, it's High who's carrying. He's 4-1, 196 minions. He has the best individual score on his team by a lot. And you can't discount that.
No, especially not with him going for that early death cap. Very big 2-item power here
20 minutes.
for Cloud9 on High. It does put more pressure on him, though, because you've seen what happens when a team with all of their money in Orianna misses a shockwave.
Yeah.
Very difficult for them to come back. That being said, Cloud9 have so many sources of disengage. That comes with piling on supports like this. They also do not have vision control around Baron.
Wow. All right, Len puts one down.
Elimination remedies that situation very quickly. We'll see if they actually get a scrying orb on Sneaky pretty soon here, because it is that 20-minute mark. That's usually around the time where a lot of AD carries will switch over. I especially do like it on long-range AD carries. Kog'Maw, it could help him out if he wants to get that last living artillery to secure a kill. It's good on champions like Ashe or Draven.
Good on Kate too.
Yeah.
Find your ultis. Oh, that ward lives. Wards do not take true damage. But now it goes down. Poor Elimination sweeping because of that ward dying. And Cloud9 back away out of their side of the territory. Enough wards on Baron means not going to be contested because Dragon's now up in 40. And here's the battle for vision.
I really, really do like these battles. Whoa! Actually, they initiated very quickly here with Kid blowing the ult.
Wow, low health on him, and Meteos wants to go in. There's a tidal wave as well. Forces some of them back, but the bomb's coming out. Oh my gosh. He'll use the rocket! Oh! Lemonation goes down. Sleeping with the fishes.
Great minefield here from Ziggs to close off any sort of retaliation from Cloud9. Even if they wanted to go harass around this dragon, they have to come another route. Heading down the river here, and they do have teleport available. Both top laners. Risky play, though.
Oh, look at that move, though, from Crumbs, and High goes and gets blown up right there. Nice bait in the Baron.
We call him out for the downside of the offensive Vi build. That's the upside of the offensive Vi build. Huge burst damage after catching somebody from a Fog of War Vault Breaker, and that secures the dragon. Take another look at this AoE delayed combo from Dignitas. Fire the rockets and the bombs. Q-Did, as Braum is supposed to do, soaks up a lot of damage. Able to get out the Nami tidal wave as well. Shifter just goes for that because he sees everyone clumped up, and man, Lemon standing too close to Meteos for that explosion damage.
So that puts Dignitas 2,000 gold up. Again, looking for that first place spot if they can claim this. And they're looking fairly well controlled. 4-0-3 for Cutie Pie's Jinx. We talk about Kog'Maw being a late game carry. Jinx is still in the conversation in terms of late game AD carry.
Oh, absolutely. Especially if there are a bunch of supports on the field. Squishy supports that are not going to be the ones receiving these shields. A lot of the shields are going to be saved for Kog'Maw.
Yeah.
If Cloud9 are not reactive enough to shield someone else who's getting caught out, they don't want to spend their resources, you know, trying to save Lemon or something like that. It will cost them because Cutie Pie getting that passive reset will be extremely costly for them.
I mean, keep in mind as well, like, how do they even threaten Cutie Pie or Shifter? There's no great engage for Cloud9.
It's all the disengage.
Yeah, it's all disengaged, but if you're getting poked by Ziggs and Jinx, what are you disengaging for?
They're trying to back up here. What they would like to do is bait in the Crumbs.
No, they're going to bait in the Meteos right now. Ziggs ult comes across. Kiwi taking up a bit of damage, but here comes the teleport as well. Jinx rocket misses. Balls comes to join the fight, and they've dodged everything away. Crumbs goes down. The squishy build not paying off here. And Cloud9 now, can they chase in for more? Shifter gets away.
Good moves there from Sneaky, dodging a couple skill shots. Kills secured, teleport used for it though.
Cloud9 say, hey, you know what, let's own ourselves a Baron pit. Wards are down for them. Top lane available easally.
Starting to even up the turrets here. This would be the last one, bring it even. That gold coming back around for Cloud9.
All right. They picked that up. 200 gold. Separates the teams 25 minutes in. These guys are trading blow for blow the whole way through.
Dig had just gotten the dragon though. So we talked about renewable resources versus taking down structures. Shows in the gold as well. Very, very even to fight over objectives between these two teams.
Wow, this game too close to call, even though there's only, I mean, I guess it's weird to say there's only 2 threats. It's Lich Bane and Lulu here, who actually puts out pretty decent persistent damage.
That's what we're talking about. These are semi
they're not,
like there is residual magic damage coming from these guys. Meteos is building full tank though, so there's almost no damage coming from that new.
Hey man, Absolute Zero does like 900 damage at max range.
Yeah,
you don't get to channel it ever.
The thing is, it's very easy to intervention the Absolute Zero explosion because Nunu wants to get the full channel off. So if Zion times it right, Crumbs should be the only one in there. Maybe Kiwi Kid will be in there too, but you know he's got his shield he can position and face it towards the center of the Nunu ult.
Yeah.
So it's very easy to negate that damage if Zion wants to back up Crumbs with his intervention.
There's actually an interesting point with that as well, which is that Dignitas's lineup is largely ranged. All their major damage sources are ranged, so that like you can easily be Zion, Spartan, Shifter, and QtPie and never get touched by Absolute Zero, right? Crumbs can force the issue, make Meteos press R, everyone else can kite away from it super easily. And it's really just like, all right, blood boil and trying to push back this Vi.
Yeah, I think Meteos' most important job will be getting down a snowball onto Zion or QtPie. Both, if he gets enough cooldown reduction.
I don't think you quite can.
Get it to last long enough?
Yeah, it's 3-second uptime, 6 or 8 second cooldown.
Whichever one's closest.
Yep. They're both going to want to attack speed a whole bunch. Ball's looking for the way in on Kiwi Kid. Bit of damage coming through. That shield blocking a lot of it, though. And Dignitas know to stand around Baron. Dyrus said that Dignitas have the best Baron calls in League of Legends, something I used to credit TSM for a couple years ago. And Dignitas still holding this side of the map as best they can. 200 gold still separating these teams very closely. Crumbs takes a whole bunch of poke. That's actually some poke they can deal while disengaging. Forces the shield away from Kiwi Kid.
This is the problem, though, with all this disengage comp from Cloud9. They don't, if they get some harass down like that, they don't have hard engage. They're all about the kiting and pulling back so that Sneaky can do damage the whole time. If they get an advantage like that, so hard for them to capitalize on it because what are you going to do? Throw Nami ult out? That's one of the slowest things in the game to throw out. Very easy for anybody on Dig to dodge because a lot of them even have their own move speed buffs. So, yeah, even if Cloud9 do get an upper hand like that, all they can get out of it are wards in the area.
Everyone on Dig has some way of moving quickly and on short notice. Some of them for QtPie is killing somebody, to be fair, but the rest of them, they can get out of dodge if they really need to. And so far you're seeing that. It's hard for C9 to claim more kills. It's all based on the shockwaves. Getting it right at the start, and maybe Lemon can follow up off those. Maybe Meteos can. We'll see.
Such a huge change in Cloud9's style.
Yeah.
I mean, usually we talk about, you know, them wanting to do the early game, get deep vision and run plays out of the top lane. This is exactly the opposite. They have almost no hard engage. They want to play reactively. They want to kite Dignitas, and they want to run plays from the bottom lane.
Hey, if it works though. I mean, they're trying to find something that does succeed for these guys. They're used to being a team with an 80% win rate. And they're close to 50% here.
Yeah, just barely over.
And they're going to put some more damage down on towards Kiwi Kid, who's going to have to
have
ult to
plenty of
save his
flows,
skin.
though.
And there's the ulti coming in across. There's a dive on. Crumbs, though, forced to flash away. One hit from Dead. High takes a bomb to the face. And now Ball's caught out, also forced to flash. Sneaky does answer back. 1-for-1 so far. Sneaky has shields. He's no one to hit, though.
The thing is, this 1-for-1 is one of the pillars of Cloud9's comp here. Hyde, we talked about how much money was on him. So many early kills for him, whereas Crumbs has been dying over and over, and he used his ult already. So it is still dangerous for Cloud9 to go for these things. However, almost all of the ultimates were Dig down. They have very few cooldowns left.
And it's going to be Cloud9 able to just take the dragon away. Sneaky with full health. makes him pretty good at that one, and out they go. Cloud9 sit on the 1,000.
Let's look at the spread here, because Balls and Sneaky do get to focus Kiwi Kid for the beginning. But as soon as Crumbs comes in, easy focus for him. You talked about everyone else being ranged. Crumbs has a target on his back, and they answer the kill.
There's Dignitas, though, looking to control the Baron pit. Aggro comes in from Nami. Kiwi Kid's going to back out with the shield in front. And they're going to continue to contest right around the middle of the map. It's just over and over. These guys know both teams have significantly fast Baron killing pressure. Like, these are two of the fastest Baron killing teams you can get. And they know if you give up vision for more than 30 seconds, it's gone.
That's why control of their teleport cooldowns is crucial. Cloud9 are already looking like they are going to use theirs right now. They have got split pushing Balls. He does teleport in to cut them off. This is pretty much their only way to hard engage.
Zion's got to ult himself early, but do they have the damage? There it comes. Not yet the shockwave, but Zion still takes damage from Kog'Maw. He's got to be out of the fight, and Crumbs in the wrong side of this fight. Goes for Balls. They can follow up, and they get it with the Ziggs bombs from Shifter. He's forced to run away. 1 for 1 so far. In comes High. Shockwave catches Kiwi Kid, and it's going to be what they can. But Kiwi Kid, he's trying to kite back. This Cutie Pie falling off as well. Sneaky's still alive. So far, 2 members dead for each side.
Fancy moves from High there in the back line, showing how much he can do with these, basically what I like to call the trinity of AP items for mid laners here. Deathcap, Athenes, and Void Staff, so strong. That's what you're getting most of your damage out from your mid laner. And look how he wrecks the back line when he flashes in. Talk about creative ways for Cloud9 to get the engages after poke lands. Balls teleports in deep, there's the intervention out, as well as Crumbs stand behind me and ult. Even though Sneaky is exposed, Crumbs, he's like, yeah, look, Sneaky's out here. We want to kill this AD carry. The whole team is getting kited back. Maybe some miscommunication there on Dig, because they're all split, fighting different enemies. Cloud9 are able to get something out of it. Flash from Shifter, and that ends up High being right next to Cutie. He gets a huge shutdown there, too. That was maximum 500 gold there.
So plenty of cash comes through. That actually puts Cloud9 in the advantage after that fight. 2,000 gold lead, a lot of that because of the shutdown kills. And High is still the guy who controls most of that money, going towards a death cap now. Not death cap, sorry, Zhonya's now.
Zhonya's.
That's what I meant to say.
It's actually a really good buy, too, because we've seen, even with all the shields Cloud9 have, they don't have enough shields for everybody.
Nope.
And all of these squishy supports have been getting chunked down pretty quickly. So Zhonya's will buy him a lot of time, especially if he's going to be on the front line.
Uh-oh, High's got to be careful. Takes a bunch of CC, but he stays alive. The support is there. That's going to be the Rockets picking up balls. 1 for 1. There was Crumbs falls over, and now it's going to be even more as Kiwi Kid drops on top of that one. 2-1, Cloud9 find the right fight.
Even the cameraman's freaking out. So much damage across here. Cloud9 can control mid lane and see if they get the turret. Should be unanswered here.
Absolutely, it's going to be. Maybe they can go for more. They've got a 4 versus 3 with the jungler dead. Are they going Baron? Are they going to heal and stay safe?
They are making their way over to at least control the vision around Baron. Whether they actually go for the damage or not, still to be determined.
Zion's partner's teleport. He goes to the backside. They see him coming. Baron at 2,000 health, way too low, easily picked up. C9 get Baron and get out.
Great mid-game win for them. They are really spiking though, because this is pretty much the most damage that Cloud9 are going to be able to throw. High is really peaking right now. Actually, Balls has a long way to scale. Once you get a Lich Bane, basically adding more late game scaling to your champion, he gets another AP ratio. So Balls could still add in a lot more with the Void Staff. High at this point, by the way, hasn't completed his Zonya, so he just survived with the shields there. Good ulti from Cutie Pie gets him, but that intervention, you see, didn't block any damage.
Yeah, could have saved Crumbs. Potentially. That's actually one thing I'm a little bit scared of with Crumbs' build, is they've got 3 big damage threats. Like Kale, crazy damage. Ziggs, crazy damage. Jinx, crazy damage. Crumbs builds squishy. You can see he actually stopped going towards the Trinity Force. It was like, oh my gosh, you're right, I need a Spectre's Cowl. But imagine if that was a Giant's Belt and a Warden's Mail instead of a Phage and a Zeal. Would Crumbs have died in half these fights?
Even if it was a bunch of magic resistance.
Sure, finished Banshees even.
I mean, there's so much magic damage on this Cloud9 team. Even Kog'Maw puts out a significant amount.
Yeah,
and
anywhere between 1/3 and 2/3 magic, depending.
And
on
really,
builds.
you know, the only hard supports here for Cloud9 are the Nunu and the Nami. Balls has plenty of damage with this Lulu, and he's doing a good job of split pushing here. So Baron buff going to use here for Cloud9. Teleport almost back up for Balls.
And look at this, bottom lane under pressure though. Balls of course went Lich Bane second, and that means turrets die really fast to this Lulu. And down it goes. C9 up 6,000 gold now. They've managed to turn the tides finally after one good fight in the mid lane, and they're taking everything they can with this Baron buff. Now bottom lane under fire, and of course there's not a lot of great ways to catch Sneaky there, so Blood Boil Kog'Maw with Bioarcane Barrage on is actually very good at killing turrets.
See if they can actually make something from this minion wave, because as you said with Lich Bane, Balls can Glitter Lance a wave, get his auto attack for the turret, a huge chunk out of it every single time, and it will constantly keep up that pressure. He can speed boost himself to join if a fight breaks out.
Yep, this dedicated siege gonna look good for Cloud9. Lemon has the Mikhail, so his mana regen's fine with his rank 5 healing. Baron buff as well, giving everybody regeneration. This poke is not gonna do anything from Dig.
Yeah, even Ziggs wave clear. Cloud9 don't care about the waves. They're having Meteor space tank this turret, get damage down on it. Both of the turrets going down simultaneously here.
Bit of a duel now, Zion's part.
Oh,
Ooh, that Glitter Lance misses. Zion's at 1,000 health, but he can't stay in this fight. He's down in items. No Void Staff yet. And look at that. Balls continuing to pressure this one. 2/5 health left in that turret. This one down below a quarter. Baron buff still 45 seconds left here for C9.
Slowly but surely, every time a shield is up, get in there for a little bit of damage. Kiwi Kid's got his ulti though. Cloud9, they kind of just have to pull the trigger and go if they want to defend one of these inhibitor turrets. Crumbs is ready. They just need Zion to get a strong intervention.
3 hits from dead.
Oh, it's gone
Oh,
already.
Kiwi Kid blocked it.
And
But
Kiwi
now he's
Kid's
too low.
almost dead. Yeah, they can't do it now.
They absolutely cannot, and they've made their way in. Middle inhibitor turret is gone. The team has actually regrouped. Balls comes to the mid lane a little bit low on mana, but they can do enough. Kiwi Kid dangerously low. The ulti coming across. One shot from killing, but the inhibitor goes down all the same.
And look how confident Sneaky is in his Kog'Maw play, because he has so many different speed buffs and shields to back him up. He's on the front line with that Kog'Maw. There's so many answers that Cloud9 have.
Crumbs just sold the Phage and Seal.
Yes.
He realized that was not the right call for himself, sold them up, got the Chain Vest from the Banshees. But there's another Dragon. C9, use the Baron buff to push in across the base, take at least 3 turrets down. Retreat for the Dragon, buy new items, and there's nothing for Dig to take now.
I have to say too, there was so many questions around what is Hai going to use, what's he going to go back to now. His Orianna play has been on point, very strong Orianna from him. Not only has he played into the team style of kiting back in the shields, but he's been also in the face of Dignitas, flashing in to secure key members, taking down QtPie, getting a shockwave down. All around strong play from all members of Cloud9 this time around. Balls was receiving criticism for his top lane play. He outplays Zion 1 versus 1. He's the stronger split push threat right now. And he also is still adding shields for the rest of the team. They're all performing pretty much 2 roles here, both Balls and Hai. Damage sources as well as plenty of defense for the rest of the team.
There's even a fair bit of offense able to come out as well. Lemonation continuing to build some more ability power on himself. Of course, you talked about the solo lane mage is doing a great job of this one, but even the Nami is scaling up quite nicely with all the global gold they've been getting. So it's good to see supports get some nice items on themselves. He continues to try to tank up as much as he can. Soon, he's going to have, I guess that's Spear Visage. It's weird to see Kindle. Oh, I guess you can go for Locket. But that might be the build he's going for here.
Who, Kiwi Kid?
Yeah, Kiwi Kid. I was like doing the mental math on like the items he had.
The magic resist aura alone.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great choice.
Would be very, very
Imagine if Crumbs had that.
Look at this rotation, though. They're all the way behind him.
Oh my gosh, this is the
They're
fight
almost
that
dead.
Dignitas needs to go in. They find Sneaky, but can they peel back for him? Turret goes down, Meteos hopes they find a kill so far. Rock comes across, won't find enough. Elimination stays alive, and look at this, C9 staying inside the dig base, and they are safe. Kiwi Kid goes down to the ulti, and that's a double kill for Sneaky right now. 13 kills for the team. Now out of Zion's Martin, forced to flash the wall, but these guys are inside the base. Can they backdoor much? They're still waiting on minions here, but Meteos is a tanky man. He gets the shields. There's turret number 1, 3 versus 5 in Dig. Couple of recalls, couple of them walking back. I'm a cutie by for Sneaky. Not a good fight for Dignitas. That goes for Sneaky. That's his 3rd kill. This could be his 4th. He's gonna take down Shifter. No, not quite.
Give it to Meteos. New kill.
Yeah, Meteos claims it just barely. He's 1 hit from Dev, but this is gonna be the game. Cloud9 finally clinched the Super Week, and they, along with almost every other team in the standings, go 2-2.
And they are 1 game away from first place.
Yeah.
Having to work through so much coming back from the All-Star game. This Cloud9 team still bringing out new tricks to the North American scene. I have to say, though, not really a new trick. No. Just reinventing an old, good trick.
And that trick worked just fine for them. Cloud9 have such a weird track record of games. They seem to always play so well versus the top teams. The guys at the top 10 and the top 4, they keep getting upset by teams like Evil Geniuses or Curse or Complexity and can't keep the consistency up. You see them looking a little bit nonchalant there. It's like, yeah, that's the type of game C9 are used to. It's like, oh yeah, it's Dig, they're number 1, it's gonna be a tough game. But they take care of business. That's what's supposed to happen this season for these guys. More games like that, they actually take number 1 again.
And it wasn't only great team play and a great plan coming into the game. It was also really strong individual plays coming from all over Cloud9. Yes, Sneaky was his usual self, adding a lot of the damage for the Cloud9 team. But High and Balls also coming up very big. Meteos, ward control all game long with the Nunu. The early counter jungling to try and delay those Vi ganks to help out his lanes. Very good supportive jungler from Meteos, which is the type that he liked to play.
We don't get to see that from him very much, the new news coming out, but that worked so well. And I do want to get back to the High and Balls point, though. I know you just mentioned it, but I want to kind of reiterate. This is the Dignitas team that just picked up arguably the 2 best solo laners in the North American LCS. Shifter and Zion Spartan turned a lot of heads. They came from relegated team, made Dignitas the number 1 team when they were a 5th place team last split. Like, guys, this is a scary team. These guys are really good. Highly regarded players, and Balls and High just took care of business. Out-CS their opponents pretty largely. You saw the one-on-one kill. Balls multiple times takes down Zion Spartan. And it's like, all right, hey, if this is the champion pool that worked for them, if they can play the supportive mages and just set up this consistent bot lane they've got, great, you finally got an ingredient for C9 to repeat their success.
You could see that Dignitas were trying to figure out what to do against this team, too, the whole time. As seen by Crumb's build, oh, I don't want to go full damage anymore. I've been getting blown up too quickly. Got to go defensive now. They didn't know how to handle this new look.
Didn't quite respect it enough, but it worked out, of course, overall for Cloud9. Going to send it down to Dash, who's standing by on the red side.
Thank you, Freak. I'm here stage side with Sneaky from Cloud9 after a great win against Team Dignitas, bringing you guys to 2-2 on the Super Week. Now, the first question I want to ask you is about your team composition. You guys kind of went with a Protect the Kog'Maw comp there, and I'm wondering how much of that decision was yours or whether or not you were consulted before all that weight was put on your shoulders.
I would say the Kog'Maw pick was mine, but the rest of the comp was, I guess, Lemons and the whole team's. I kind of just choose my own AD carry, and then I let the rest of the team choose what's best.
All right. Another thing I want to touch on is the fact that we spoke to High earlier in the week, and he was a little down on himself about his performance and things like that, but he actually played very well this game. As a teammate, what do you do? How do you respond when you see one of your fellow team members kind of down on himself? How do you raise him up and get him refocused on the game and moving forward?
I guess the biggest thing is really just not, like, harassing him about it. If you just don't mention it, and, like, he knows he already screwed up, like a teammate, not specifically High, obviously, but they already know they played bad, and then they'll probably fix it themselves already. So you going out of your way to, like, harass them would do absolutely nothing. So in general, just be, I guess, happy, but don't harass them about the bad thing.
Absolutely. And now, surprisingly, with this win, this puts you only one game out of first place as we have a 4-way tie in the standings above you guys. So knowing that, what is the next step? How do you get up to that kind of tier with those other 4 teams?
I think we just have to keep practicing and try to play our best, because I think any of these weeks, if we just keep winning, then we can get to the top. But if we just keep dropping half of our games, then we'll be nowhere near the top.
All right, next week you have EG and TSM. Anything specific that you're going to be planning for those 2 teams, or how do you go about approaching that week after a grueling Super Week?
Well, there's a new patch with jungler changes. There's some sort of blade mail looking thing in the junglers for tanks. So it could be a lot of new picks for like 4th tier behind the top tier already, but we'll have to see going into next week.
All right, well, so then the final question there is actually on that patch. When you have a new patch as a team, you're playing on the tournament realm here on stage, 1 patch behind. On live, you're playing ahead. How do you deal with those changes as a player?
It's really weird, honestly. When the new AD carry changes came out and I had to play on the last patch, solo queue was a really different environment for me, but I still played because I'd be ready for the next week rather than not preparing at all and keeping my mechanics down rather than up. So you really just have to play a lot of solo queue. That's the main thing. Even though the new patch is coming out for the tanks and stuff, for Meteos, you'll probably spam a lot of solo queue. You may even scrim a little bit less than normal, just so that we can get prepared for actual scrim picks.
Absolutely. All right, well, best of luck adapting to those changes. Congratulations on your win just now. Now we're going to throw it back up to the desk to Freak and Kobe to close out the day.
Thank you very much, Dash. So, guys, we had a Super Week of 16 games. We thought it would break up the teams, give us some clarity. Only brought the top 5 teams closer together, which is nice. Camaraderie is always
family.
good. Yeah, we're all closer together now. First place, 4-way tie. Why the heck not? CLG, Dignitas, LMQ, and TSM, all 11-7.
And then just 1 game back in 5th place, it's Cloud9, followed by Curse in 6th.
And only 2 games back down the line, it's going to be 7th place Complexity and Evil Geniuses sitting in last. Now, there have been a ton of great plays to sort through this week, but here are a few players who stood out as phenomenal. Up first in the top lane, Zion Spartan. Even when he's behind, he still finds ways to help his team win, and Dignitas once again end the week tied for first place.
Amazing, had 2 really big Elise games, and he remains undefeated on that champion. He also added in a win with Jarvan to go 3-1 this week.
Now, Voyboy showed his deep champion pool with strong games on Ryze, Ziggs, and Orianna against 3 of the top 5 teams.
OP as AD carry is Robert X. Lee. He came up huge for Complexity with his great Tristana play, and he pulled off another big upset against Dignitas to end the week 2-2.
And finally, in support, Xpecial. He turned it on this week and helped his team turn a tough schedule into an opportunity to launch a 3-game winning streak. But at the end of the day, there can only be one MVP, and this week, it is that new support, Xpecial.
Curse faced off against 4 teams from the top 5, and with Xpecial's great Thresh and Leona play, they picked up 3 wins, and they looked very good doing it. He made great catches early on to get caught fed, and became the first player in the North American LCS to cross the 1,000 assist mark. People were starting to overlook Xpecial's skills, but this week he reignited Curse, and they were playing much more aggressive.
And I gotta say, Xpecial, I'm glad he got MVP this week. People kept giving him flack. I mean, Curse had a pretty rough split overall, but I gotta say, man, he stepped up. Cop alongside him played well. I know he wasn't on the list of OP players, but like, that Curse lineup looked so good right now, and you've got a couple weeks left to push and go for a good seed in the playoffs.
And you heard him on the analyst desk.
Oh, man.
They are confident now, too.
Yeah, they're looking good. The confidence he was giving to his teammates as well. He's like, man, I want people to realize when my teammates are like doing really well. He's like, man, I want people to say, "Voyboy, you're awesome." And like,
yeah, he also
good
said,
environment.
I want people to fear me.
I want people to fear him. Hey, man, they started playing a lot better. They beat up some good teams there. Of course, next week the action gets underway with a brand spanking new LCS preview show, followed by the European LCS.
And kicking off their day is Roccat versus SK Gaming, followed by the Wolves from Copenhagen taking on Gambit.
And be sure to stick around for the return of the European Challenger Series with a best-of-3 quarterfinal showdown between H2K versus GG Call Nash. Then the North American LCS will be streaming your way to Saturday with 4 more big matches, starting with Complexity versus Team Curse.
After that, Evil Geniuses will square off against Cloud9, then Counter Logic Gaming will battle it out with TSM.
We'll conclude the day with the North American Challenger Series featuring a quarterfinal showdown between the new Team Coast and Team Denial. So mark your calendars in red or some other easily readable color, whatever you kind of want. Thursday, 8:30 a.m. Pacific time, 5:30 p.m. Central European Summer Time. That's going to do it for us today. But so far, for myself, Kobe, Riv, Jat, Dash, Zyrene, Eva Clicky D, and the entire LCS broadcast crew, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.
Being a super week, there are 5 big matches coming your way today as teams battle to move up the standings.
Everyone quiet down. You have to ask me permission to speak from now on. Okay. Because I'm the team captain. Permission to speak.
Cataclysm comes in, but Dominate and Cop are able to shred. Doublelift does get the intervention, but he's standing right in the middle. Yes, he is able to take it down. The team is still getting him the sustain in the heels. Quas gets hit up. What a chaotic fight.
They're the best late game team in the LCS.
He's quite safe in the situation now. The shockwave is huge, but can he answer with more? Robert misses Shifter. He's right over the wall. There's the shot. Krepo walks in, taking 3 shots from Vasily. He's still firing freely on the outside. Jumps to the back line. They're trying to focus him down.
Crawley gets a shield, just gets away, but there's the Ignite, there's the Wild Growth, but it's not enough. Dyrus picks up 1. It's going to be even more coming as Bjergsen takes on Robert X. Lee. Now Bubba also to fall.
You guys got this. Smash the place.
Oh my god.
Move on to the next game.
Oh my gosh, this is the fight that Dignitas needs to go in. They find Sneaky, but can they peel back for him? Turret goes down, Meteos won't, they find a kill so far. Brock comes across, won't find enough. Elimination stays alive, and look at this, C9 staying inside the dig base, and they are safe.